there's dudes out there that are like, no, it doesn't have the warmth and the tube quality of
a vinyl.
Really hear the the whiskey rubbed walls of this
yeah.
room that
You can hear
it's a
my
port
patch
rinsed
cables from
studio.
1980 that kind of sound like shit.
I've been rubbing coffee into this wood for 6 weeks. You can really
I'd-
bourbon
I'm-
aged studio.
I'm laughing, but like as if all three of us aren't this kind of guy about movies.
I like that Lucy was doing that whole conversation on camera, but not moving the mouth.
They're a demon.
Yeah, I'm a very good ventriloquist.
I love ventriloquist Lucy.
Yeah, you can't see my lips move except when you do. It's hard. It's tough.
Yeah, it's really hard to pretend that you're a ventriloquist. While you're
Hey everybody, it's Aaron Christensen with Horror 101 with Dr. AC, and this is Streaming and Screaming, where we're talking about horror movies that are streaming online right now. And I've got my two awesome co-hosts, Chad the Bird
Wah!
and
That's
Lucy
it.
Ball.
I didn't have anything.
I would like to petition for my title to be changed to Mouth Sounds Apologist Lucy Wall.
I think that could be arranged. Tonight on Streaming and Screaming, we'll be talking about some brand spanking new flicks, The Substance and Long Legs.
Boy, them legs are long.
And
So
then
long.
The Wayback Machine takes us to 1984, where we discuss The Company of Wolves, and I'm really excited to hear what Lucy has to say.
I can't wait to talk about Company of Wolves. I love that
Yeah.
movie so much.
Me too.
And Chad, I don't know what your feelings about Company of Wolves are, but I'm excited to hear them as well.
Okay, well, I have them.
Good. I want you to have feelings.
Yes.
Oh,
what-
we got to
it's what's-
unpack that one. I don't know.
It's
Well,
what
then,
separates us from the
Since
Martians.
you asked, let me do some fast word exercises.
Wait a
Cow.
minute, Doc. I think Martians have plenty of feelings. They're just different than human feelings. That's very, very narrow-minded.
It is. It's very earthish of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The doctor would not approve. I gotta
What
write
doctor?
that down.
I'm the doctor.
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
confused. Who's
This
a medical
doctor does
professional and who isn't? I don't have a PhD.
Speaking of doctors,
Yeah!
let's talk about The Substance
The
from 2024.
The
From
substance.
Director Coraline Frigget.
Yeah, that's
Great
actually
name.
how it's pronounced.
Yeah. You got to put the pause in it and everything.
The slight 3,000 yard stare, just Shana
But she did you guys see her previous film, Revenge?
yeah,
No, I've not seen that one.
that one
Oh.
I did for a watch. I mean, that was like what 20? Was it like 2017
It
or
was,
something?
it was a few years back for sure.
Yeah, I did that for a watch. It's good. I like
It's
it a
Fake
lot.
really
fan.
good.
I didn't even know that existed.
No, it's I think it's on Shudder as well.
Yeah,
And it is a rape revenge movie, but directed by a woman and done with immense style.
yo,
And holy crap, is the payback amazing? So
Well, I
highly
think-
recommended.
I think the only like rape revenge film I've seen in a while that I liked was American Mary. I don't remember if that
Oh,
was
sure.
by
Yeah,
a
yeah,
woman or
yeah.
not, but I
That was
love
2012. That would certainly qualify, and we should talk about that movie on this show at some point.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that-
write it down.
That is one that is
Hang
starting to
on.
leave the public consciousness, and it makes me sad that people aren't talking about American Mary anymore.
My trainer had it on at the gym the other day, and I was like, "This is weird.
What?
This is a weird vibe for working out."
CrossFit's such a weird place, man.
Let's talk about The Substance. This stars Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley and Dennis Quaid. And anybody who wants to give a brief synopsis and or setting for this one?
Yeah,
You
no one
raise-
wants to.
I'll,
Right?
I'll jump in. I think
Okay,
I can.
okay.
I think I can do this in a way that because I'll go right out on a
We're
limb.
going to be talking spoilers tonight, folks.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If
There's
you
no
haven't
way
seen a
to
movie,
not
just skip,
spoil this movie.
skip to the next movie if you haven't
Right.
seen this one.
And before you skip, I do have a pretty unspoily way I've described this movie to people because it does work best if you allow it to fully surprise you. I think.
For sure.
But I say
That's
The
true of
Substance-
most movies, though. Yeah.
I was gonna say, is that not how movies work?
Nah, I think there's plenty of specifically horror films that I can know everything that's going to happen and I'm still going to have a great time watching it happen.
Okay.
You know, this movie, I think you would still like if you know what's going to happen, but it's much better if you don't. which I guess is true of all movies. Shut up, shut up, shut up.
Guys, let him get through this.
Yeah.
He's working it out.
I'm processing.
Don't interrupt.
I'm
Don't interrupt.
processing. See, look, I fucked up my eyebrow by thinking too hard. Well, I'll deal with that in a moment. But the way I explain this movie to people is it's all about a person's relation to aging. And more specifically, the way women type people are like conditioned to relate to aging and the natural process of getting older and stuff. I think that's enough.
I would say if you throw on the body horror version of that premise, because it could just be a docudrama about it's really hard out there getting older in this age of society. However, the body horror on this one is next level.
Yup.
Really, really enjoyed the effects. I love a movie that has gooey effects and social commentary in equal measure. And this
that
one
the gooey effect like elevates. Like it's not just like, oh, then this gross thing happened. It's like, no, that's kind of the point. Like Society.
It's like the gooey effect elevates the message and also like what's a good word? Like it brings it down and it's not so like painfully highbrow.
Yeah.
It's not a dour. I mean, it's bleak, but it's not a dour movie.
And it's easily accessible.
Funny and like
everybody gets it. It's you don't have to really reach for the message. But now let's give the spoilery version of what the hell happens in this movie.
Drugs are crazy.
Hollywood sucks.
Yeah. Both of those things are true.
Oh, and the third point is Demi Moore is so fine. Even now. Like I
was having a hard time accepting every time she was like, "Look at me, I'm hideous." I'm like,
okay, you're still gorgeous. Come on.
Okay.
Like I thought
if
Demi,
you say so.
Not to be too male gazy, but I thought that Demi Moore was better looking than Sue, whatever the actress that played
Margaret Qualley.
Margaret Qualley. Yeah, I thought that Demi Moore, maybe that says more about me than anything else.
I was like, this is a matter of taste.
Sounds like a thing you got going on right now, man.
Hey, fine wine, Mr. Fine Wine.
Anyway, so Demi Moore plays a quote unquote aging celebrity who runs an exercise, which I love that she's like a celebrity running an exercise.
You have to
TV
accept
show.
in this world that fitness videos are the coolest thing.
Everybody. Ever. That's the thing that will skyrocket you to fame.
Yeah,
hey,
like
Billy
if Richard
Blanks,
Simmons,
Richard Simmons
elevated to a like rock star level. If Richard Simmons was Elton John,
yes, is he not?
Or if Elton John was Richard Simmons. Oh,
I think they got some similar proclivities, but that might be about.
I like that you reference Billy Blanks because I'm like, Billy Blanks is because he wanted to be the superstar.
That's Tybo, right?
Tybo, exactly. Yeah. But anyway, she is an aging, superstar who is fading and gets booted off of her show. Oh, she goes to the doctor after she gets in an accident. Is that right?
Yeah.
And the doctor's assistant says, I think you might like this. What's happening right now?
I'm fixing the camera. Keep going.
It's cinema verite.
Are you
Don't
fixing
worry
it?
about it.
I'm being kooky.
Murdering the show. As I was saying, the doctor's assistant slips her a number, a flash drive, and says,
after pawing her spine,
yes.
Which I gotta say, out of all the gross shit in this show, that was the one that made me go.
I also liked. You'd be a perfect candidate. No, this looks great.
Just sitting there going, "Oh, please stop touching her spine."
But I love the instructions for. Well, okay, I'm just gonna. The entire premise for this movie is ridiculous, and you just have to be willing. In the same way you have to admit, or you have to accept that our exercise programs are the rocket ship to stardom. You have to accept all of the ridiculous rules that go along with using the substance.
And somehow Dennis Quaid is the least ridiculous thing you experience.
I don't know. He's right up there.
God, he's fucking great in this movie.
I did like that he was just playing Vince McMahon. I thought that was very interesting.
We were thinking that like the director didn't tell Dennis Quaid he was in a movie and just gave him lines. And just like, hey, man, eat some shrimp and just go nuts.
But you, so to use the substance, you inject it into your spine. No, you don't. Where do you inject it? You inject it in your Anyway,
You take it like a shot, like an EpiPen,
there you go.
because
So
that's
it's-
the first thing. That's the activator.
right.
Then
And
you got to drain the spine juice from yourself. No, yes.
Well,
Wait.
after your well, okay, so
Yeah,
you have
okay,
to be
back it
you have
up.
to be yeah. So your younger self emerges from your spine,
From your spine.
and then your younger self has to take fluid from your spine
Yeah.
and use that to sustain themselves for a week, and you
Yup.
have to trade back and forth with your older self and your younger self every 7 days, no exceptions, or bad stuff happens.
So,
Yeah,
of course, she
very
follows all the rules. Nothing happens.
Happily ever after the end.
Solid movie.
Yep.
I love
Wait,
a
that's
horror
not what
movie with
happened.
rules.
That's,
Yeah,
love
that's
it.
when I was watching this movie and she auditions for the. I'm sorry, I had to change the batteries on my headphones, so I missed like 35 to 40% of everything you guys just said.
we haven't talked about what you're going to talk about. So
We're
talk
doing
about
the rules. We did what are the 5 rules of substance?
Oh, right. Don't say I'll
Can't
be
get 'em
right
wet.
back.
Don't stay out after midnight.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Don't say Candyman 5 times in a mirror.
But yeah, so it's
She does all of those in the movies, by the way.
We-
Spoilers.
so did it come up that she loses her job? Have we talked about that?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I'm catching
Dennis
up.
Quaid.
I'm catching up.
This is good.
Eating
Yeah.
shrimp.
Yeah, this
Fire
is great
me
radio.
more.
Yeah. So yeah, when she uses her young body to get the new job, I was staring at the screen like, okay, a television show, you're not going to be able to just switch on and off every week. Come on. what are you
No, it
talking
makes
about?
no sense at all.
But then I also was like, and this is where I'm suspending my disbelief.
Yeah.
This is where I'm having a problem.
Solid place to die, like solid hill to die on there.
You
Listen.
just, you
I'm-
just,
I'm very good
no
at
way
that.
on that schedule. Absolutely,
I
not.
picked the best hills, baby. It's
For a
crazy.
union job, please.
No way.
but yeah, so that was one of the first things. I'm like, how is that ever going to work as a TV personality? Yeah, I can only work every other week. And Dennis Quaid's like, no problem. And you're
Oh
like,
my god, that was the
Okay.
most unbelievable part of the whole show.
What does he say? I don't care if it's a sick puppy, brother, sister, mother. We will make this work. They don't even do that at McDonald's. They're not going to
Yeah.
do that on a TV show. Come on.
But yeah, so let's talk about because once you do the change, now what? Because I have questions.
Same.
Do we think that these people share a brain, or is it completely separate entities?
I think that's kind of the whole point of the whole movie. Is that's why there's that one warning at the end over and over and over again. It's
You
like,
are
you
one.
are
You
one.
are one.
You are
Yeah.
one. It's like reminding you that, like, hey man, it doesn't matter the body, it's still your brain.
Yeah.
And that's what we see happen is that split.
So when she is young and abusing the privileges, she knows she's abusing the privileges, and she just doesn't want to go back into her old body for 7
Right.
days. Yeah.
Right. Well, if it's an addiction thing, right? It's like
Right,
I
yes.
only like myself when I'm wasted. And it's like, except in this case, I only like myself when I'm a sexier version of myself I grew from my spine.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone
I
can
think they got
relate.
a group for that.
I've been on this Facebook group just to peep.
But I think it's a little bit of both. I think it is. I mean, it's very clearly an addiction type of metaphor, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, just so you guys know, this movie's not subtle.
no, it's about as subtle as a brick in the
We're
small of
talking
your
about
back.
this like there's some nuances we're trying to pull from this movie.
Yeah, there's no. It's just trying to figure out what the rules actually are. That's
Right.
a little sketchier. But in terms of the messaging, no, that's loud and clear.
Yeah, I think they do share a mind because, like they say, that it's the same person. But I don't necessarily think you have recollection because
Okay,
anytime they come back and something's like fucked, they're immediately mad at the other self.
Well,
Right.
and that feels very real in terms
Yeah,
of
it's
somebody
it's
wrestling with
almost like
addiction.
it's a blackout.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait
Uh-huh.
a minute.
I get really mad at myself when I black out.
Yeah,
always
when I
give
wake up
myself
and
treats.
I got a million Amazon packages on the porch, I'm like, God damn it. We are supposed to be better than this.
But here's the thing: you open it up and you're like,
You
oh,
are
actually,
one.
That's kind of dope, though.
Wait, okay.
I get
Maybe
this.
drunk beer was kind of cooking. That's
Yeah.
some cool shit.
I buy myself frozen pizzas, so like I wake up and I'm like, oh, thanks, me.
Oh, for when you want pizza and
Yeah.
also want to do the work for it.
No,
and
no, I do
not
it when
be
I'm
as good.
blackout, and it's just like I wake up the
Oh.
next morning and I'm like, damn, Okay. Thanks, me.
Margaret Qualley, who plays the younger version of Demi Moore's character, Sue, she does go in, she auditions, she gets basically Demi Moore's old show, which becomes the new show. And watching that exercise show, I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yup.
Like nobody, like what kind of exercise show is this exactly?
A pornographic
awesome
one. Yeah.
Pornographic one.
I've
One
never
that you're
seen.
exercising different muscles.
Yeah,
I
I've
can say
never
that on
seen so
YouTube.
much ass popping in a workout video. It was crazy.
It's basically every TikTok video now.
Come on.
It's true. I'm amazing.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Very humble. Very humble.
So yes, tell us some of your favorite moments from The Substance.
Me?
Either of you.
Oh no, Lucy, you first, please. after
Oh,
you.
me first. God damn it.
Lucy did the synopsis.
And the
so to
gimme
be fair-
gimmies.
No, I do have some favorite parts I could mention. When she comes out from her first session, I guess, and she's got the gnarly witch finger,
Mhm.
and she's on the phone and she's like, there was a slight misuse of the substance. How do I what's the procedure to
Right.
reverse it?
Every time she called like consumer help, I was like, this is the best part of the movie.
Yeah, that was great.
How do you describe what's happening when even she doesn't know how to describe what's happening?
Yep.
She's like, the seedling part of okay, so okay, I'm looking at the manual.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the terminology here. I also really liked how every time she goes back to the sketchy alleyway storefront, she's like more and more junky like she's pulling a coat really close around her face and running all erratically. I thought that was a very nice touch.
Well,
And I
because their
mean,
body's mutating. I mean, basically the rules are if you don't switch after 7 days exactly, bad things start happening to the older version of you where you start mutating in different ways.
Right,
Which
because she's
I
draining
wondered-
her spine juice.
I wondered what would happen if she used the stabilizer fluid from the younger one.
Right?
Huh.
Right?
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's
that
the
was an
sequel.
avenue unexplored.
Yeah, can't wait for Substance 2 where they reverse it.
Yeah,
And
they
it's just
they
it's
scrape
a
a
really short
DNA off
movie.
the fucking the star on the
Yeah.
ground. and-
Well, and
Oh my
how about this
God.
premise where somebody just lays there on a bathroom floor for 7 days? It's like,
Yup.
wait, that's how we're going to do this? You're just going to leave your body
I do like
there?
that she put it
that's
in the
what you
closet.
get
though.
for waking up in Vegas. That was another thought I had is if I did this for whatever unforeseeable reason,
You will never get old.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I know
you're
that's-
immortal.
that's-
I don't know if this is ever something that you.
that's kind of the rub. But if it were me, which it could not be, as we have now established,
it's
um,
canon.
yeah, it couldn't be me, Chief. But if it was me, I would put my other body
You'd
in
be
like a
nicer
nice
to yourself.
bed.
Yeah.
I would put some silk, which I guess is also the point of the movie. She's
Right.
not very nice to
There's
herself.
some serious self-hatred
Guys,
going on there.
I'm loving watching Lucy figure this out in real time.
What do you mean? Oh my God. Okay, I'm the jackass. Right. Yeah, I get it. Hey guys, I think this movie might have a larger message.
Wait, nobody tell him.
Is it the message writ large? Who knows?
No. Hey, I'm
Call
trying
back.
to get better.
No,
I'm
Call
trying to
back.
get better.
If I had a button, I'd push it.
I'm in recovery from the writ large thing, man. It's really hard for me. I get the shakes. It's tough. But
Anyway,
that-
yes, the self-hatred message is pretty writ large.
Oh, another scene I really enjoyed. I felt terrible during the whole thing, but I liked it and thought it was very good. Is when she's getting ready for the date with that sweet dude from her class,
Yeah.
and she's like going insane with the makeup and like having a whole moment about it. I thought that was like, incredible, and
Yup.
it made me very sad.
Yeah, that's
great
like it's what I did like
performance.
about this movie is that could have gone really like sappy and dour, and
Yeah.
instead it was like quirky and weird and horrific and kind of funny and weird.
I think that will be Demi Moore's Oscar moment. Will be like that'll be the clip they show.
Yeah.
Or
is
at least
watching
a
her-
golden chainsaw. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Oh my god, she's so good in this movie, you
Yeah.
guys. Like also
she
don't
really
get us wrong,
acts her
everyone in
ass
this
off.
movie is firing on like every cylinder they got.
Chad, what were some favorite moments for you?
Oh, it was Spine Baby, which
Oh,
I
man.
screamed on my couch when it
Yeah.
happened.
I can hear it. Yeah.
And and big fan of shrimp fingers, which I thought was disgusting,
Oh,
but I
that was
also
awful.
kind of can relate. And I mean, we're going to talk about towards the ending when we get third version. What is it called? Monstro.
Yeah,
Yeah. Man.
Elisu Monstro.
Yeah,
Monstro
Monstro
Elisu.
Elisu or something like that. And I was like, copy of a copy. This isn't going to go right. And it doesn't go right. And then
and
it
it
goes,
was-
it's so right.
It was
It's
cool that it
so
was
right.
like equal parts Toxic Avenger, Belial from Basket Case.
Yup.
Like it was all your favorite rubber monsters rolled into one. It was
and
awesome.
like the Demi Moore face hanging off her back every now and then that just
The
wanted
s-
attention.
the
That at one
screaming
point actually
visage.
just says, "I'm here too," and
Yeah.
it broke me. And then fourth favorite, 10th favorite part of this movie was woman standing up in the audience yelling, "Kill the
Kill
monster!"
the monster! Shoot it! Yeah.
Yes!
That was
Yes!
awesome. The last 30 minutes of the movie are tonally
Fantastic.
entirely different from the rest of
Fantastic in
it.
every
Yep.
way.
It's like a Gua music video. It's crazy.
Well, and I was my wife and I were watching the movie together, and like, you know, like
Brag.
this big like New Year's Eve extravaganza that Margaret Qualley's character is supposed to host. They have like nude women, like
Hell
like what kind
yeah.
of like what kind of future is this?
A
The
good
best
one.
future,
The
I
good one.
guess.
The one liberals want.
Yeah.
Put that in the YouTube.
Look, I date men and I'll take naked showgirls
Yeah,
at my
for real.
at
I just
my
was
New
I
Year's
just wasn't
extravaganzas.
anticipating that for our New Year's Eve special. Where,
Yeah,
you know, the
they
whole
got
family gathers around the tube and watches this.
Oh, no, it's topical. It takes place within the next 4 years and the
Right.
FCC has been completely gutted.
Right.
Perfect.
Mm,
Right.
But
yeah,
like,
gotta
hear
get
me
heavy.
out. As scary as that actually is, if it's gonna end up with shit like in the substance, I'm like, well, then hang on.
And you know, if
This
there's
might get
if,
amazing.
We'll all
If
go
there's
down
a-
in flames together.
True.
if there's a federal agency to gut, maybe the FCC is not such a bad one.
yeah, it's true. Of all of them, we can get through it. But yeah, let's not do any of those. Let's keep some regs, okay? Just a couple of
just a
regs.
few, you know, some guardrails.
I mean, just like it turns Evil Dead, she staples a picture of her older self to
Oh,
her face,
that
and
was-
she's
That was
It's so
equally
great.
hilarious. And I also, I don't know if YouTube doesn't like this word.
if you have to ask.
Probably not. But what's the pylons? The Muppet Water Park. Get
The
it?
Muppet.
Kermit
Hang
water
on.
slide, you might say.
Oh, I see what
Um,
you're doing.
but-
Cockney rhyming slang is with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Wow.
It's got a bit of a Kermit water slide.
yeah. But
My
that,
Cockney, you're welcome.
You'll have to DM me what the hell you're saying, because this is like
yeah, I got you.
this,
I got you.
this code
It
is very
rhymes
dense right
with
now.
Kermit water slide.
Some folks may say sewer slide.
Yeah,
But,
also close.
That metaphor with the after the Terminator injection where they're kung fu fighting all over that wonderful apartment and like doing Dragon Ball Z kicks that throw people across the room.
I hadn't been
that
this
was
excited
crazy.
since Malignant when shit went
man,
off.
yeah. It's kind of that similar vibe. You sit down thinking it's going to be one thing, and then
Yeah.
it goes completely bonkers before you know it.
But it like what it does that Malignant didn't do, or I guess we didn't notice when we first saw it because you go back and watch it and you realize, oh, it's been this kooky since the beginning, is that it starts off bonkers.
Oh yeah.
It's like, this is the world we've created. This is the vibe we're doing. It starts off kind of like artistically shot, like
yeah.
everything is like Dutch angles and weird, and you're like, okay, I see. And then you're like, there's no reason why this movie needs to go so ham. And then you get to the end, and you're like, oh, I'm so glad you started it like a 12.
'Cause
Yeah.
We can handle it. We can handle it now.
You get the bends if you start off normal. If you start off at like a 5, you just have a seizure and pass out.
Oh, and when she's in the bathroom pulling the teeth out of
Oh,
her
I
head,
forgot
that
about
was
the
disgusting.
teeth!
That was disgusting.
There's so many moments in that movie where I was just like, no! But
Yeah.
also, yes.
As heavy-handed as the messaging is, like it completely complements it with the fact that it goes super gore, gross, and you just feel bad on every level. You're like, oh man, the world is fucked, and holy shit, this movie's fucked.
Honest to Badness might be like my favorite movie of this year. I think it might kind of crack the top of that list for me.
I still
had such a
think-
good time.
Best horror film of the year so far for me is Immaculate, but this is like a close second.
Yeah.
Close second or third. So far, haven't seen Nosferatu yet.
That's true.
Oh,
Holding
can't
out
wait.
hopes.
Happy Christmas. Let's
Well,
go.
let's throw another I would say, nominee in, because
Yeah.
Longlegs was getting a ton of buzz.
Lanky
Yeah.
legs.
And I only recently saw it, and thank you both for waiting to talk about it.
Yes.
Because
I've got my long legs on.
so this is a serial killer movie that is clearly and actually openly inspired by Silence of the Lambs. So anybody's like, it's just doing Silence of the Lambs. I'm like, yes, that's what it's
That's
doing.
what
Like,
it's doing on
so
purpose.
consciously doing that. And
Yeah,
in
it's
case
not-
you were worried, like Osgood Perkins like goes, we're doing Silence of the Lambs, just so you know.
It's also like it's definitely inspired by Silence of the Lambs, but not in the way that like Greta Von Fleet is inspired by Led Zeppelin.
Right, where they're
It's
not just
still
like taking the vowels and like the performance and like trying to just do that, like copycat.
yeah. It stands on its own.
Greta
Because,
Van Fleet, you're on blast.
yeah, take that. Yeah, Led Zeppelin was already ripping everybody off, and now you're a ripoff of a ripoff. Get
Copy of
real.
a copy.
Get real.
I saw the substance. I know where this goes.
Yeah.
Continue where you were going.
Oh, I mean, we'll get into it as we get into the film, but there's things done.
More
in-
spoilers ahead, folks.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's things done in Long Legs that are very much like, you know, it's a cozy blanket of Hannibal Lecter,
Yup.
Silence of the Lambs. But it takes some turns that
Oh yeah.
are way more far fetched
Oh,
than
yeah.
anything you would see in that.
and I'm so happy that it did. Like,
Oh,
I was,
yeah, totally.
I was like so pleasantly pleased that we started off by doing like takes on serial killer procedurals, and I was like, okay, yeah, seen it. And then it was like, well, we're going down this road. You're like, whoa, we don't go down that road. And then it's like,
And-
oh, God, we're going down that road.
Anytime a movie has this scene,
Yep.
Yeah!
Oh man, I
Hail
was thinking about-
Satan! It's great.
Classic!
It was awesome.
I think we called a moratorium on it. Like a couple of shows back,
Right,
We were
with,
like, I don't want to see anybody smashing
It
their
was
face.
Talk to Me. I think it
And-
was
Oh,
it,
I
right?
was talking up about smashing faces because I was talking about that age-restricted YouTube video.
but that's the thing. I feel like we said that's enough. No more of that. And
Well, see, you got to put some spice by sitting up, grinning, and going "Hail Satan" afterwards. That's kind of fucking
Yeah, that's
awesome.
true. Got to give it a little sugar. Got to give it a little cayenne. Got to give it a
And-
little cage.
You got to give it a lot of
little
cage. He's really
You don't need a lot of
flying on
cage,
all-
Lucy, but this one piles on the cage.
Oh yeah, I think I do need a lot of. I've got like a cage exposure problem.
This is like
where-
a Creole seasoning of cage, where it's just like, oh no, this is gonna be spicy. Hold on.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when you like do drugs or drink for a long time, and after
No, I
a
don't know
while,
what
like
that's like.
you need more and more, and then you
True.
eventually got to stop. That's where I am with Nicolas Cage.
I agree
You know,
with that.
it's-
I got a cage addiction.
I don't have fun until he's like completely off the leash.
Yeah,
And,
I also
like-
think that's true of Cage, though. I feel like he's like, this doesn't work for me unless I'm allowed to go full cage. Like, he has a cage meter.
Yeah, like
that he
even in
uses.
the serious movies, Jason. What's that one where he's like in Las Vegas and he's an alcoholic?
Leaving Las Vegas?
Leaving Las Vegas, yeah, and he's like all drunk in the casino, going, "I'm the boy's father."
Yup.
Like you're so right. I don't think he enjoys acting in a film unless he just gets to like unleash the beast.
Yeah, and indeed he is actually the beast in this movie.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not prepared for the Satanism.
No, not at all.
To be
Well, you
like,
never are, really.
well, I mean, sometimes
That's
you
the
are.
rub. That's how
That's
we
how
get
we
you.
get you.
Like, you know, for say the first Omen, of course, we're expecting the devil, but
Right.
so watching it the second time, because yes, I watched it 2 times.
You have to.
There are all these little like demon devil Easter eggs that I missed the first time around. And I was like, oh, holy shit, look at that. There he is right there.
That movie's airtight. I nudist.
Nudist.
When you first
Good
see,
for you.
I was like, are you a nudist? Is that-
I'm a nudist. Look. I like to just free. I like to keep it free, easy.
He
There's
says
like,
wearing a jacket.
it's very cold in here. It's 30 degrees out right now. You
That's
don't know.
true. Chicago
know.
just shifted.
We're getting our first winter experience.
Oh no, hey,
Whereas
come on, I
Chicago,
get it.
it's like it's like 60 degrees for like most of November, and there's like, bam, it's December. Wake up, and you're like, okay, I don't know why you got to be a dick about it.
Oh, I totally get it. It's freezing over here. I think the high was like 75. today.
Here
Terrible.
we go.
Man,
Here we go.
Yeah,
Mister,
woe
I
is
gotta
me.
wear a
Like,
fleece when it's 65.
Yeah, it's tough. You know.
But like, I forgot what we were saying because
We
it's
talk
cold
about
in here.
devils and demons and
Of course we are.
yeah.
It's just a movie you got to walk back again. Like it is like there's so much in front of you that you don't notice. Like she was when you see her in her home the first time she gets the note, in the background is her old house. And I realized, oh, she lives like right next door to where she grew up, but never comes up throughout the rest of the movie until you realize, oh, that's where she's always been. And it's her
Small
car.
town shit,
It's
man.
her car.
And I remember, I can't remember exactly which scene it was, but there was something pretty early on when it starts to get weird, because it gets weird fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets very. I remember sitting in the theater and looking at the stranger sitting to my right, and we both just said, "What the fuck?" at each other, and it was a great, little bonding moment.
Can I say that opening sequence is iconic?
Oh, it's great. And you know it's going to be intense when they like pop a guy in the noggin in the first 5 minutes.
Yep.
And the way they pull that off was so cool, where he just is like, "Oh, you think it's that house? Let me go knock on the door, stupid." And he goes and knocks on the door and bing!
Yup.
That was just excellent.
Is that the opening you meant, or did you mean the opening like with Nicolas Cage?
No,
and the
I
kid?
mean the opening with Nicolas Cage, but that scene is also pretty goddamn new.
Yeah. I mean, the cold open, as it were, is also great. Again, you get, I got my
I love it. People were
long
shitting on him for doing a Tiny Tim impression, but I thought it was kind of
was
spot on, and I
awesome.
loved it.
I would.
I was
rather
like, do you know how creepy that would be? Like, if that was happening to you, you would hate that.
I would rather somebody be a serial killer in a film impersonating Tiny Tim than have a spooky record player magically playing Tiny Tim songs in the background again.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was fine. I thought it was good. And I like that he had little songs for everything.
Yep.
Let me in now, and it will be nice.
Well, he's just doing what's his name from like T-Rex, right? Which is why they play T-Rex that whole movie. Is that he's the
totally.
lead singer from
Yeah.
T-Rex, but he's like, if the lead singer from T-Rex was made out of marshmallows and also like a melted Jack Frost from a Christmas display, and I'm like, man, you're ticking off all the boxes I didn't know I had.
That's very specific and very accurate.
Yeah, I was going to say that's actually on point.
Yeah.
Micah Monroe from It Follows is back again. It's not the same character. I mean, we've not seen her do this before, and it's certainly not Clarice Starling either. Like, this is like Clarice Starling is damaged in a certain way, and Micah Monroe's character Lee Harker is also damaged in a very specific way. And like watching her, you just feel uncomfortable all the time because she looks uncomfortable all the time.
It's she's playing a FBI director in the movie, or like an FBI agent in the movie, where it's like she's pretending to be an FBI agent and everyone's just going along with it, which made it super unsettling.
I thought she was a great portrayal of a, possibly neurodivergent, sheltered religious child.
Yep.
Because I remember watching it being like, oh man, she has like found this person and nailed it down perfectly.
There's damage.
I don't even know what that means.
It's French for damage.
Damage. Ah, nice.
Okay. I'm stupid. I get it.
You're not. He just, it wasn't writ.
Or law. Yeah. God damn it.
You will never, ever, ever.
I'm never going to live it down.
There's like, to your point about Easter eggs, there's so many Easter eggs in this movie to go back, and like, it's just like replete with like tiny little trinkets as you go back. You're like, oh damn, I didn't see that.
Well, when I was watching it the first time, I mean, when it ended, I was kind of like, I don't know if I like that or not. Like, I really wasn't sure. I was like, I definitely am pleased to have seen it, but I'm like, does it work for me? I don't know. And that's why I'm like, I have to go back and watch this again. And I definitely like it now. Like, I really like it. But it was one that I was like, the hard left turns this movie takes, where you're like, oh no, we're doing the devil here. Like, this is not a serial killer movie anymore. There's demons involved.
They feel like hard turns when you first see it. But then when you see it again,
it's a natural,
you're like 100% where this movie
always
was going.
where this movie was going, for sure.
Yeah, I haven't gone for a second watch yet.
So good.
I kind of need to, because I really liked it on first view. I think my only if I had to nitpick, my only note was like, I wish the ending was a little bit more resolved, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of movies do that now, where they like they don't resolve shit, and
Yeah,
I
they
get
leave you
leaving
like
it up.
5 minutes before the end of the movie.
Yeah, and I
Listen.
get leaving it up to the audience, and I get the creative choice behind that. But there's some times where like just give me something. Give me
I
anything.
know you know where I'm at. I'm always going to be asking you to land the plane. That's
Right.
always going to be
Yeah,
the case.
yeah.
I'm never going to be the one that's like, I don't really care if it lands or not, because I'm like, well, that is why I am here. However, with this movie, with that last moment, I think they land the plane. And it took me a second time to watch it where I was
The
like,
last
oh, okay,
moment
yeah.
being with
The
Nicolas
last-
Cage,
The,
Hail
la-
Satan.
the like Marvel stinger that they do
Yeah.
right before the credits.
Awesome.
I was like,
Awesome.
okay.
Yeah, and like I think I got the message that they were putting out, but I remember getting into the build up there where they're in the house with the other FBI guy and his family and all
Yep.
that. And I remember thinking like, okay, we probably got a solid 25, 30 minutes of this film left for them to sort of wrap this shit up. And then the credits started rolling. I was like, oh my God, okay, I guess I'm going
shit,
home.
Never mind.
Well, if you think about, like I talked about the substance being kind of ridiculous in terms of its premise, like the premise for this one, like what? He makes dolls and it has a little ball inside, and all you have to do is get that doll inside
It
of the house.
Is
and
a
you can make
Lovecraft story, right?
can
It's
make
like
the
Phantasm.
family kill each other. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, I'm like, what? How does that even work? And they don't bother to explain it. And I think that was one of the things I was like going, am I okay with that? Am I okay with them just saying, and these are the rules. If I get the doll inside the house, you're all fucked.
Yeah,
And
Well,
you
the
have to be
rules
okay
you
with
get through Nicolas Cage, like sing-songing his glam rock ways, where he's like, I put it in the box, and then you take it out, and then you're mine, mommy, daddy.
that was awesome. That's how I look in the car alone, honestly.
Yeah.
Just screaming my pain out. But the thing about just having to get the doll in the house and then the spell is cast, I guess my brain is broken by occult literature because I didn't have a second thought. I was like, yep,
Wow.
you've let the cursed object in, and
Nope,
now you're
okay.
doomed.
All right. Yeah. I wanted just a little bit more because I don't know what happened when mom, spoiler everybody, when mom blows her, Lee Harker's doll and you see like the black cloud come out of her head. I'm like, what just happened?
I
Like,
think
does that
that's
mean the memory comes
Satan-
back?
I think that's the Satan influence, because like whenever there's a Satan thing, it's like a black cloud.
Right.
And I think that's like a part
But
of
what
Satan
what
is
changed for Lee Harker? What
gone.
changed
I don't know.
after?
I didn't write it.
Yeah, well, and because I think she was still very much screwed,
Right.
like
Kinda that
especially
was
with
it,
the
right?
way
she
it
was
sort
down
of
the
wrapped
drain
up.
at that point.
Yeah.
Well, when
Yeah.
she holds the gun out to shoot the doll and she can't do it, it's like, well,
Well, she can't do it because there's no. I mean, she's clicking. Like there's no bullets left.
oh, I took it that she just couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, because she was squeezing that thing for sure.
Okay. All right. All right.
All right, can I quote you on that, Lucy? I'm gonna put that in the chat.
Oh yeah. Quoth Lucy Ball. She was squeezing that thing.
Put it on a shirt.
I'm gonna be that guy now, and I'm gonna be like, I wish anybody else would have played Long Legs.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Hard take.
I'm so tired of Nick Cage going full Cage, and all I was doing was watch like his full Cage has lost its impact on me. It doesn't register anymore. I'm like, okay, Nick Cage being weird again. And if anybody else had done Nick Cage being Long Legs, I would have been fine with it. But watching Nick Cage do it, I'm like going, well, okay, it's one more in a parade.
One more
of,
vampire's kiss. Okay.
yeah,
Right.
one more in your parade of grotesqueries where I'm like, yep. I mean, this is Nick Cage. He's bored with life, and so he's going to make these big, bold choices. And I'm like, because
There's so much Cage hate right now.
That's
Who hurt you?
I
AC?
really
No.
gotta hand it to you. That's a bold take.
Yeah, it is.
That's
I
pretty bold.
I'm bored by it now. And the last time,
So it must be a privilege to be bored by Cage at this point.
well,
We are
that is
rich
true.
in Cage.
That is true. We have so much. The guy's done way too many movies. The unbearable,
Way too many. He said.
the unbearable weight of,
Weight of
Of
massive
unspeakable.
talent,
Yeah,
talent,
yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
it. Yeah.
But like that was the last fun time I had with Cage going full Cage, because I'm like, okay, he's aware of it, he's
Yeah.
commenting on it, and I'm like, and now we're done, right? We're not going to
No.
do that anymore, but he's still doing it, and I'm like, God damn it!
So
Uh,
who's an actor? Here's a good question. Who's an actor you would like to see like really go nuts like that?
Honestly, anybody else, like Eddie Redmayne would be fine.
Eddie Redmayne.
uh,
Everybody was just really mad at him about Cabaret.
Well, We can. I mean, but honestly, like anybody who hasn't already gone full Cage, like that's the thing. Like I've seen Nicolas Cage. He's done it. He's done everything he's going to do. It's like you can only get so many sounds out of a piano, you know.
Well,
And
that's
I feel
true.
Like, I
but
feel like
if-
we've heard all the sounds that Nicolas Cage can make.
yeah, that's true. But if you play Great Balls of Fire, I'm gonna tap my.
Yeah, I'm
toes.
gonna tap my feet.
100%. But are you going to listen to
Get in
something
there.
that sounds like Great Balls of Fire, the 50th rendition or ripoff thereof? Like it's watching, listening to Spin Doctors. You're like going, okay, I already heard Little Miss Can't Be Wrong. You can't keep doing the same, boogie riff every single song.
I listen to revival rockabilly music, so yes, I do actually listen to 50
Yeah, I was gonna
iterations
say,
of Great
like,
Balls of Fire.
The amount of AC/DC I crank on a daily
Well,
basis,
there you go. Yeah,
I have
there you
no
go.
room to talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think.
Daddy,
See, I would rather you play it, Chad.
well, I would
you-
too. The checks would be
Yeah,
nicer.
if
but-
you had
man.
been,
I
long
think you
legs,
would kind of eat that up. That'd be
I
pretty
would.
good. Yeah,
I'd be
let's
loving it.
write a letter. Let's make a Long Legs fan film.
Oz
Yeah.
good.
there you go.
Ozzy
Doc-
P. Ozzy
Doc-
Perks.
You can be Lee Hawker. I think you would do very well.
Thank you. I appreciate
as an
the
FBI
confidence.
agent.
I think
Chad,
you played an FBI agent once, Dr. AC.
I'm sure I have.
Whoa.
He has an extensive IMDb.
I don't. Yeah, I don't go back and look at it.
No, nor should
Oh, yeah.
any of you.
Let's see, and then Chad, you can be Long Legs. I'll be the girl at the hardware store that's like, Dad, the weird
oh my
guy's
God,
here
the best
again.
part of the movie. My God, that scene is so,
So
good.
you
That
know
was
that's
awesome.
Osgood's
That's
daughter,
Osgood's
right?
daughter.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, I love it. It's a cavalcade of creeps. It's got a lo-fi feel. It movie feels cursed. It feels like you put it on, you're like, oh shit, did I just summon something?
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like even in spite of the fact that I would have rather everybody except for Carrie Elwes play Long Legs, I just
Hot
realized.
takes tonight.
I just
know,
realized I don't want Carrie Elwes to play it. I don't want Carrie Elwes to play anything ever again.
So what if Liza
So always
Minnelli
the bridesmaid,
was
never
Long
the
Legs?
princess bride.
Please be Princess Bride always. What?
What if
Lucy?
Liza Minnelli was Long Legs?
Hell yeah. Oh, hell
Oh,
yeah.
okay, you both jumped on
Oh,
that.
No,
man.
I was gonna say Patty LaPone would have been.
Make-
Oh,
long.
no, Patty
That
LaPone would have been
fan
awesome.
film.
Whoa.
Oh, man. I would love to see Liza Minnelli.
Okay, well,
as
what if
Long
it was who's somebody people are having a hard time with, right? What if it was Johnny Depp, huh?
Well, I don't like. I mean, that's different. I think.
So
I mean,
you wouldn't rather see anybody?
you're
do
right.
it,
I
would
would-
you?
well, because Johnny Depp is
It's
also
always the
worn out.
Depp equation, man.
He's also worn out his weirdness. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't.
We
get
get
I
it.
it.
would
You're
pay
drunk.
Johnny Depp
Like
$10
Wonka?
million to wear a T-shirt that says "worn out is weirdness" and just walk around LA.
And,
I
you know,
mean-
he needs wine money these days, so he probably would do it.
So yeah, no, I wouldn't rather see
Get a
Johnny
Pinot
Depp.
Noir.
Anybody who's like not on the shit list, who's still like a viable performer who isn't a dick.
The
they-
Rock.
They,
I was just gonna say
Were you
The
gonna
Rock.
put The Rock on there? What if Kevin Hart was long legs?
Oh,
You want to deal
hell
with that?
yeah.
You want to
Kevin
deal
Hart,
with
I don't
that?
want to see Kevin Hart. do
No,
that.
no, you don't.
Maybe John C. Riley.
John C. Riley would
would've
be
been kinda-
fun.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I would see Adam. Oh,
Oh.
Sandler long legs.
Okay,
I'd see that movie.
I really would like to see Adam Sandler like play a scary.
Yeah, I
figure.
want him to
think
play
that would be
something.
kinda
Well, kind of
interesting.
like what Uncut Joms was. Like
Yeah,
his,
yeah.
Uncut Joms.
his
I like-
Uncut Joms.
Uncut
He was a
Jom.
bit of a skeeve. But like I would
Yeah,
love
but
for him
like
to do
a
like an
murder
insomnia or like a
Yeah.
1 hour photo
Yep,
kind of
yep.
Oh
turn.
man, 1 hour photo. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
dark-
rough watch. That
dark
movie.
stuff. But anyway, yeah. But in spite of all that, I really liked the Long Legs, and I was hesitant to love it because I'd heard both sides. Like people thought it was overrated, people really liked it. But I definitely lands on the thumbs up side for me.
Here's my hot take. People think everything's overrated. If anybody's like, this is really
if it's
good,
rated at all, then it's
yeah,
overrated.
somebody's like, "Pff, whatever. I thought it was kind of stupid.
We
but
cannot,
sure."
and I put this in my review on Letterboxd. Come follow me on Letterboxd. In the review, I was like, "This is not the scariest movie ever made. There's no such thing. It doesn't exist. That's not a thing. Stop
Right.
saying it's the scariest movie of the year. That's relative. Don't be that guy." And I feel like that hype, like, put me in a spot where I was like, "Oh damn, am I gonna be freaked out like Hereditary again?" Because every time someone says that, I'm like, the last time a movie freaked me out that bad was Hereditary,
Yeah, I
and
think
I'm like,
that's
I'm
fair.
in for it, and I'm like, it's not gonna be that way.
Right.
And So then that sets you up for a different vibe. And then if you go back and rewatch Longlegs, you're gonna be like, oh, this movie's fun.
Yeah, no, it's quite well, and I think also because the campaign was so kind of
So
like,
good though.
yeah,
Oh,
low radar. Like, we're not going
yeah.
to tell you anything.
Yeah, I really appreciated that. And maybe this is me and you know, my God, but Luciferian light bearing.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Luciferians.
My religion I'm trying to start up is the Infernal Caprine Order of Luciferians.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, but that's how you know it's real and good.
That's right.
But it might
You're not
be
trying to market to the mainstream. You're like, man, if you can do it, you can say it. You're in.
Yeah. It's like the Order of the Golden Dawn. Like, we're intentionally making shit difficult, so you have to stick with it. But no, maybe it's the light bearer in me that thinks you need to, you know, blaze your own path and be your own god in existence or whatever. But I never ever listened to like, this is the scariest film of all time.
No.
Never listen to it. I'll take it was really freaky. I'll take it was cool. I take it scared the shit out of me. But I block out anything that sounds like advertising. I won't do it.
And that's how you avoid. That's how you survive TikTok.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
all TikTok is now.
Did we roll over your opportunity to talk about mouth sounds, Chad?
No, we haven't gotten to that movie.
Okay,
yet.
good. Okay. Well,
There's lots of good wet sounds in
let's
Company
get
of
to it
Wolves.
my
now.
God!
Company of Wolves, which was my choice. It's going back into the Wayback Machine, and it's because we just talked about Interview with the Vampire for one of the Friday Night Frights episodes, which I realized was directed by Neil Jordan, and this was Neil Jordan's second film that I knew about.
Interesting.
And I remember watching this back in 84, 85, whenever it hit cable, and being like, this is a weird werewolf movie. I don't know about this. And then just kind of like lived in my brain for a while. And then when we did Hidden Horror, somebody decided they wanted to write an essay on it. I'm like, cool. And then I went back and watched it then. I'm like, okay, this is a weird little werewolf movie. But I remember when we were talking about werewolf movies, and I mentioned Dog Soldiers, as I'm oft want to do.
Here
Lucy,
we go again.
you mentioned Company of Wolves. And so I was like, well, let's talk about Company of Wolves because it's celebrating its 40th anniversary this year.
Whoa,
dude.
I didn't know that either.
Very cool.
But oh man, Company of Wolves. The first
this
thing
movie, I thought of you, Lucy.
yeah.
As halfway through this movie, I just went, "This movie's a banger."
Yeah, hell yeah. I live in his brain.
Yeah,
Possession. That's possession at its finest.
possession, man. It's 9/10 of the demon. Anyway,
The first thing I think about the Company of Wolves is more wet puppets in film. We need to bring back the wet puppets. We really do. It's a special thing.
there's not enough dew on this like meat monster.
Yeah, exactly. Like, put some slime on there and call it a day. And I also just really love that, like, yeah, it is a werewolf movie, like by definition, but it's like a gothic fairy tale dreamscape of a werewolf movie.
That's also an anthology series.
yeah,
it
and
is.
it's just like, it's so unique. And it has, for my money, bar none, the coolest transformation ever with the wolf snout coming out of the mouth. That's like some wicked shit. I love that so much.
I audibly gasped when that happened. I was just like, "Blah!"
Well, it's funny because you have two transformation scenes. One is like the mechanical one where the guy tears his entire skin off.
That's
and then, like,
my wet puppet moment right there.
and then
yeah.
like his little beak comes out. But then, yes, later in the film, there's the one where the wolf basically just comes out of the guy's mouth.
I laughed so hard when Meat Monster's snoot hit out and she screamed, and I was like, "That's what you scream at?
Yeah,
that's the part that freaked you out."
The tongue
Everything
waving
else
around
up
was-
until
yeah.
now was super on point.
And that's how you know that that's a boring person, because I feel like if I saw a tongue waving around, I wouldn't scream. I'd be like,
He'd scream for the
Go-
right reasons.
go on.
really now? Is that what we're doing?
Okay, I didn't know that's
All
what
right,
we
I'll-
were working with.
I'll break out the less good sheets tonight, I guess. But I think another one of the things I love so much about this movie, though, is it's chock full of like really cool images. Just
Mhm.
like every like vignette in it has at least one like incredibly striking, awesome scene. Like, I think my favorite one is I want to say it's towards the end where they're at like the banquet and it's just a bunch of like
Yes.
legit feral wolves sitting at the table in clothes. That's awesome. Like I would
Every
I would
time-
hang that on my wall right next to the Jersey Shore painting of Cookie getting punched.
Every time they shot outside the window, I was like, "Oh, dope!"
Well,
Just
and I
like
was
the best matte paintings.
I was thinking, like, I mean, these three movies actually play pretty well together because they're all kind of highfalutin. They all have a lot of messaging going on, and they all are gorgeously shot, and
Yeah.
yet they look completely different. Like it's a different palette for each one of them, but they're all made by incredibly visual filmmakers.
And they're
Yeah.
all like lowbrow, highbrow.
Yeah,
Like
accessible.
they have, yeah, exactly. Like it's not like total pinky in the air. Like, oh well, it takes a certain type of person to really
Right, right,
appreciate
right.
it. Like Pink Flamingos. That that's a real highfalutin movie
Yeah.
right there.
You really have to appreciate the subtleties of.
Yeah,
Well,
you,
wait
you
a
do
minute.
have to be a specific type of person.
Got
to
to
Yeah.
really lean
appreciate
in on that
movie.
one. or
Maybe
you'll
not
miss
your
something.
pinky in the air; it's something else.
Yeah, your pinky might be a little further down, but yeah, it's like they're very artistic and they're very beautiful and they have things they're saying, but like they do it in a accessible and like normal kind of way.
Well, and they also have great horror moments. Like
Oh,
all of them have great horror moments amidst all of the messages and scenery. But like the basic setup, I think, for Company of Wolves is you got a young girl who's upstairs, maybe having her period for the first time. She's clearly like unwell. I think it would be easy to figure that she's having cramps and things like
Wait,
that.
is this about adolescence? JK.
It is. And so she starts having a fantasy of her and her family living back in some kind of like quasi medieval time where you have tales being told about that usually involve wolves.
Yeah, when I was going through puberty, I also fantasized about being a werewolf a lot, but now I go to conventions for that kind of thing.
But yes, we have 4 different stories that are told throughout. Angela Lansbury gets the MVP award.
Oh yeah, we're burying the lead here, by the way. We
Playing
got
the-
the Lansbury, Mrs. Potts,
Yep.
in
And
full
she's
on,
great. in
and
it,
she's
too.
like doing straight up Sweeney Todd, Angela Lansbury times.
Yeah.
Oh
And-
yeah, she was Mrs. Lovett for a
yeah,
while there, wasn't
she's the
she?
she's the
Yeah.
original Mrs. Lovett. Her and Len Carew.
I couldn't remember if it was her or Lupin who was the first one.
No, it's a Lansbury original.
Yeah, she. Oh my
Also,
God.
my new
we're-
T-shirt's gonna say Lansbury original.
Yeah, we're going on our Broadway tangent right now. about that.
I'm like, I'm
Who's
just
excited
dazzled
for
by
Wicked?
this.
Oh man, I can't
I
wait.
can't
I can't
wait.
wait. But if I remember right, I had heard that wasn't Mrs. Lovett like written specifically with Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, I
in
believe
mind?
that's true.
Because
of
why
Sondheim,
wouldn't you?
Right?
Anyway, horror films.
Yes.
Must we? Okay. we must.
We'll talk about Broadway after. Don't worry.
Absolutely, of course. We text every night about it. It's fine.
Uh,
But yeah, so getting back to mouth sounds, here's my issue with the mouth sounds in this film. There are so many older British archetypal characters that have to start every single story they say with a couple of tippy taps of their lips before it starts, and it was driving me crazy. And when you hear it, you can't unhear it. Every
so
single one of them was just like, here's a lovely monologue. And here's another lovely monologue. And I'm like, stop it! Stop it! I know you can hear it.
That's what they mean by stiff up a lip, right?
Ugh. Someone get everyone water.
That is so not what I figured. Okay, there's got to be mouth sounds in the substance. That's got to be what he's talking about.
No, we
Uh,
expected those mouth
Oh
sounds.
man, it's so funny.
The,
old
the
man
Company
in
of
the
Wolves
diner
is so
eating his
quiet
porridge.
and like comforting and misty and wind. And then as soon as somebody comes in, I know they're going to lick their lips and start talking. And I'm like, drink a glass of water before you come into the scene.
This
Please.
just in, ladies and gentlemen, comedy sensation Chad DeBoyd hates British people.
I hate dehydrated British people.
Oh yeah, he wants you to drink your water.
Please drink your water.
You friggin' punters, do it.
Lucy, how did you first encounter this movie? Do you remember?
Because I will watch anything if it has to do with a werewolf. I have
Wow.
a brain sickness, and I love werewolves. It's. I should get some water before Chad. fucking
Yeah, I was gonna ask. You got a glass of water nearby? Huh?
I do. Hold
Bringing
on,
that
but
mouth
I'm
sounds
gonna
on
have.
this vlog.
Well, I really enjoy the thing about werewolf movies is that No, but yeah, I really like werewolf films a lot. This one, I think I first watched it as whatever the demon equivalent of being a teenager is, because I
It's
saw
like 2,000 years, I think.
yeah, something like that. But because I saw the photo of the snout coming out of the person's
Yeah, on the
mouth, and I was
poster,
like,
yeah.
well,
Right.
okay, I gotta see. Yeah, I think it was in like a movie store actually seeing
Yeah.
that tape and being like, whoa, I gotta know what this is about. And it took some time to grow on me. I don't think I had the palate for it when I first saw it because
Agreed.
it wasn't like, violent and at least not, over the top splashy teenager violent.
Well, I think there's some like specific set pieces throughout, but the movie itself does not feel like a horror movie.
Yeah, it's like, and I would put it more in like gothic fantasy, than a straight
yeah,
up horror
it felt more
film.
like
Yeah,
Labyrinth if Labyrinth was a little more adult.
Honda, there you go. That was
Yeah,
my
totally.
thought as well. It's like it
So,
feels like
yeah,
a dark fantasy.
So it doesn't count. Get it out of here.
whoosh.
Get
Yeah,
those
we're
mouth
we're
sounds back in the
genre
pond.
purists over here. But yeah, like I don't know. It took some time to grow on me because I wasn't when I first saw it. I wasn't really ready to meet the movie where it was
Yeah.
because my expectations were more snouts popping out of mouths and gross stuff like that. And
which is in there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
totally
good on
in
the
there.
movie for being as advertised. You usually get those like gnarly posters, and there's never that moment in the movie. And this one,
Yeah.
no, they give it to you.
They deliver.
I can't remember exactly how many times I had to watch it before it clicked, but it was basically when I developed a patience for fantasy settings.
That's about 3,000 years.
Yes.
And Chad, honestly, I was worried about you while I was watching it because I was like, this isn't a horror movie. Chad's gonna be like, what the hell? Had you seen this before?
Yeah, it took me a minute to realize that I had seen this movie before because I did not equate because I'd never seen it all the way through. I did not equate some of the scenes with a movie I'd seen and with with the whole movie because like I'd seen these like little bits and pieces of it in retrospectives, and then I started watching this movie back when I was trying to do like Watcher in the Woods. And like some like vintage Disney horror movies, like Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Yeah.
And I started in
Black
the Company of
Cauldron.
Wolves, and I fell asleep. So I was really happy to revisit it. I was the third movie, man.
It's a great falling asleep movie, though.
It
It's
is. It's
really-
very comforting, and it's a good
like one of
vibe.
those. It's one of those overused internet words now, but it's cozy.
It's got a cozy core kind of vibe to it.
Well, and I do like as you said, Chad, like the kind of anthology quality to it. Like there is a story within a story within a story.
Three
And I
stories
love-
within
I love
two
that-
stories.
I love that layering. It's like you start off with quote the real world, and then suddenly we're here, and then we're here. It's like, oh, and I'm going to tell a story that somebody told me, and you're like, how many levels down are we?
Right. Yeah, it's very Inception, and then you might get lost in. I may still be in the movie. In like a few seconds, a husky's gonna blast through that window over there, and I'm gonna scream for a very long time.
You just met. I was like, the ending of this movie. I was like,
Subtle.
Whoa.
I had to Google it. I'm gonna be honest.
Wait, you Googled it?
After I saw it, I was like, wait. And then I was like, okay, hang on.
You're like, did that happen?
I need to go
Wait
back
a
to
second.
Wikipedia and have them spell it out for me. And then I was
Yeah,
like,
it's,
oh, that's what happened. Okay.
Company
it was her
of Wolves
adolescence.
ending
All right.
explained. Reddit.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh man,
I had to read a couple Substacks about it, but I got it.
I don't know what are your feelings about so and so ending explained videos. Like, what are your feelings about that?
If
Do
they're
you-
funny, I'll go
you
with it. But
appreciate
like
them?
honestly, jump on Wikipedia and read the plot summary. They do a really good job of answering questions that you have, and it's so much nicer than having to spend 40 minutes beforehand with someone setting up the like, this is the scariest movie I've ever seen, but it's very confusing in the end. Here's my opinion before I continue. Hit that like and subscribe. And you're like,
Yeah.
ah.
I read
Stop
articles
introducing
more than I
yourself
watch
before the
YouTube videos.
video. We know it's you.
You gotta please the algorithm, Chad. You should know this.
Ugh. You keep feeding it and it won't die.
Yeah. But then the ad money dries up too. So like,
That's
what
true.
are you gonna
Yeah.
do?
No, we love you,
Shit.
algorithm.
I've actually never watched just kind of out of spite. I've never watched an ending explained video because I'm
Oh.
just like, no, I'm not gonna, I will figure it out on my own. Thank
Yeah,
you very
there's like
much.
3 different flavors of them too. There's like the one where it's someone talking to the camera with like ominous music and it goes on for an interminable amount of time. Then there's one that's just like images with like an AI generated voice with captions that goes on for an interminable amount of
gross.
time. And then by it's over, so you're like, yeah, I might just go watch this movie.
Yeah, and then there's Dead Meat, I think is the other one.
Then me,
Um,
yeah. Then there's Demi.
but yeah, I don't really watch the videos, but I do like read articles, or I go on like there's not forums anymore, it's just Reddit, but I'll like go to subreddits and read what other people have to
Okay.
think, and get in conversations about it.
Well,
or
that's the
whatever.
thing. I like the idea of a conversation, but like just a video of somebody going, "Here's what it is." I'm like, come on, world. Let's not be so lazy, shall we?
You don't need to do that. Here's the thing. They're doing that to get more clicks and more views. You don't have
Yeah.
to do that. Do what like Lucy does and like give them wanting more. Leave them wanting more. Get them excited and then leave them be.
Yeah, I haven't
always
even
want more Lucy.
I haven't even posted whole yet.
I don't even know what that means.
I'll tell you after.
Hey, let's circle back around and let's give our ratings for our shows or our movies tonight. The Substance out
10
of
out of
5.
10. Oh, out of 5. 10.
10 out of 5.
10 out of 5.
Yeah, 5 fucking stars. I really enjoyed this movie. I loved it.
Golden buzzer.
Long legs.
5 out of 5 for me, but I liked it, but I can see how it would be a 4.
I would go 4.75. I just wanted more of it.
Dang.
Interesting.
Like I said,
I didn't know we could do decimals.
Oh, they call me Dewey Decimal.
Dewey
baby.
Decimal. Dewey,
But-
we shall.
But yeah, I remember getting home from the theater because my husband doesn't like the movie theater very much. So I oftentimes will just roll. If there's a movie I want to see, I'll go alone and check it out.
Yeah.
And I came home and he's like, "How was it?" And I was like, I think it was kind of fucking awesome. Like I really liked it. But yeah, the only real qualm I had with it is I just wanted more of it.
And then Company of Wolves.
10 out of 5. Movie's a banger.
Wow, very positive. Oli.
It's
I was
so
gonna
good.
say,
I don't know- I
what
haven't had
happened to you?
nothing. These were just 3 really good picks.
He's
He's
been
found
hitting
3 really good
He's been
rhymes.
hitting them a lot.
Yeah, I have been drinking.
I think I'd give Company of Wolves a 4. I think I'm gonna go 4 on that one.
Yeah.
Because I think it does. It's an easy movie to drift in and out of. I think that's like one sort of criticism I guess I could make about it.
Yeah. It's going to
but-
be in the rotation for sure, though.
Yeah, but I love it. I think it's awesome, and it's super interesting, and it's so unique. You like gotta give it props for that.
Yeah. Since we're doing decimals, I'm going to do 4.5 out of 5.
Cool. I would give 4s across the board. I think
Fours
all of
across
them
the
were
boards.
really solid. Probably Substance. I might go a little higher, 4.5.
I would hope so.
I think it is.
What
I think
more
it's
do
a-
you want?
Well, that's just it. I think it's an extraordinary film. I love the fact that it's made by a female filmmaker. I love the performances. I think it's just, like next level. I know Demi Moore is not going to get nominated for anything, but she damn well ought to. And I think it just has some really important things to say, especially at this point in history. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also got buckets of blood, TNA,
Yep.
and
It's got
disgusting food.
It's got T in A at one point.
It does have T in A and T in M and T in
An
B.
A out
and-
of a T.
Yeah,
and a
and
T,
T
out of
in
an A.
everywhere.
There's
Honestly.
a chicken bone and a butt one point.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah. So there you go. There's our recommendations. Where did we? Substance is actually streaming on Mubi right now, which is the first time I'd been on Mubi in quite a while.
Yeah,
You sure
I
you're
think
not saying Tubi and you got hit in the head?
No. It's Mubi, MUBI.
Man.
yeah, I bought it on Prime because I knew I was going to show it to a lot of people.
I got to see it on a buddy's Plex because I'm privileged.
Ooh, nice.
And where did you see Longlegs? Did we just see it?
I saw that in the theater for
Yeah,
my
theater
24 Tales.
movie house.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I actually cheated. This is streaming and screaming, but I got it from the library on DVD. So there you
Hell
go.
yeah.
Support your local
Support your
library.
That's
local
right,
library.
exactly. Because you can watch these movies. And Company of Wolves, I think, is streaming on Shudder.
Yeah,
it's-
it was on
it's
Shudder.
totally on Shudder. Yeah.
Absolutely worth it. You can even watch that one on a desktop. I think a lot of these movies, I'm just like, nah, I want to watch that in the theater. But I was just cruising on Company of Wolves on my desktop, and I was like, this is even good just on the small screen.
Good stuff. All right. Well, looking forward.
This is a rare 3 out of 3 for us.
We've done really well.
Are we
with
in
this
agreement?
Yeah, I think we might be.
We're in agreement, except for the Nicolas Cage thing.
Yeah, well, then
That's
you can
because
be
you
wrong.
forgot
That's okay.
how to have fun. Something happened.
Oh
here.
no, I know how to have fun, and I do like. I can have a top 10 of Nicolas Cage performances,
as everyone should. I believe.
I just think I'm done with him being weird.
Don't listen to him, Nikki. Keep
Get
doing
out of
your
there,
thing.
Nick. This guy doesn't know you. Like
I was
we
gonna
do.
say no. Nick Cage is gonna just keep doing his thing because he can't help himself.
Daddy, my mommy.
That's all right.